The courtroom was suffocating, air so stale it felt like breathing dust. The heavy clock above the chamber ticked louder than it should, echoing like a warning bell. Even the bailiff shifted uneasily, as though summoned for something beyond routine. It was just past 9 a.m. when the wooden doors creaked open. Meri Brown stepped inside, not with her usual careful presentation, but stripped bare of it. No jewelry, no smile. A plain black coat swallowed her frame. In her right hand, a manila folder, torn at the edges and bent from the force of her grip. She sat quietly, hands folded, eyes darting toward the entrance, waiting for something or someone. And then it became clear. She had arrived alone, without Cody. That silence spoke volumes. Across the aisle, Robyn stiffened. Her body snapped. Upright, her jaw tightened. Meri didn't so much as glance at her. The judge entered, a small framed woman with spectacles balancing at the edge of her nose, her face lined with years of lies disguised as testimony. She scanned the docket before lifting her eyes to Meri. "You're seeking an emergency protective." "Order," the judge said. "On what grounds, ma'am?" Meri rose slowly, her voice steady, controlled. "She came to my home. I told her to leave. She refused. She threatened me." Robyn's head jerked, her voice sharp. "That's not true." "Enough," the judge cut her off. "You'll have your turn." The clerk's hands hovered above the keyboard. The entire courtroom held its breath. Meri's attorney placed the folder on the bench. Inside, screenshots, an audio clip, 2 minutes of security footage. Time-stamped, verified, evidence. What had long been dismissed as family tension had just escalated into legal warfare. Robyn shifted, her skin pale, voice cracking. "She's twisting this. I only came to talk." But the judge had already stamped the folder Exhibit A, and the truth began to unravel. 2 nights earlier, Meri had been alone, vlogging quietly, by the fire. Her private video diaries had become her only outlet, silent confessions for no audience. But that night, at 10:32 p.m., a knock shattered the quiet. Not a doorbell, not polite, a knock sharp enough to rattle bone. Through the window, Robyn, hoodie, no makeup, clutching a folder to her chest. "Meri, please," she begged. "I need 5 minutes. It's about Cody. About the money. I found something. Please." Meri didn't unlock the door. She cracked the window. "If it's serious, go to the police." Robyn's tears blurred into anger. "No, not them. They'll spin it. Christine won't hear me. Janelle's cut me off. You're the only one left. Don't turn your back too." And then her tone darkened. "If this comes out the wrong way, it won't just destroy him. It'll destroy you too." Meri's hand slid the deadbolt closed. Her phone recorded every word. That choice saved her. Now in court, the audio played. Robyn's pacing, her veiled threats, her voice cracking, then sharpening into menace. The judge asked, "Do you deny you were at her home?" Robyn faltered. "I was there. But it wasn't like that. I was trying to protect her. He made me sign things. If this leaks, he'll blame me." The gallery turned. Christine sat in the back row, her hands clasped tight. Robyn's voice trembled. "That folder wasn't meant for court." The judge frowned. Then what was it for? Robyn said nothing. Silence heavier than truth. Meri stood once more. Her voice cut the air like glass. "Then you won't mind if we open the second envelope." Gasps rippled across the room. From her coat, she produced another sealed folder, thicker, heavier. The judge leaned forward. "What is this?" "Evidence," Meri said firmly, "that this wasn't a misunderstanding, that it's been happening far longer than anyone realizes." Robyn's mouth fell open. Words failed her. The gavel struck. Recess was called, and outside, a black SUV pulled up. Kody Brown stepped out, unaware that within minutes, the courtroom was about to become a battlefield, not of love, but of betrayal, secrets, and survival. The night before the hearing, Meri Brown couldn't sleep. She sat in her kitchen, lights off, listening to the wind batter the windows. At 1:42 a.m., the motion light in her backyard flicked on. Her phone showed no alert. When she pulled up, the live feed The screen was black. Dead. Hacked. Meri gripped a flashlight in one hand and a kitchen knife in the other. She peered out the glass door. Nothing. But she knew. Someone had tampered with her cameras. She called the police, calm, but deliberate. There may have been a trespasser. I have video. I'm also filing for a temporary restraining order. That filing brought her here, to this very courtroom. When recess ended, the judge returned, face stern, folder still sealed on the bench. Robyn looked drained, pale, almost broken. Meri sat motionless, her eyes fixed not on Robyn, not on Cody, who had just entered silently, empty-handed, but on the second envelope in front of her. The gavel struck. We've reviewed the preliminary evidence submitted by Ms. Brown. At this time, we'll hear from the respondent. Robyn Alice Brown, please take the stand. Robyn rose slowly, as if each step cost her. She moved past the benches, eyes forward, breath shallow. State your name for the record. Robyn Alice Brown. Do you admit you were at Meri Brown's home on the night in question? Yes. Why? Robyn's voice trembled. I wasn't there to fight. I wasn't there to intimidate her. I went because I didn't know what else to do. The judge leaned in. And what exactly were you attempting to do, Ms. Brown? Robyn hesitated, her lip quivering. I was trying to stop everything before it spiraled. But instead, I made it worse. Her attorney intervened. Your Honor, my client would like to make a statement. Context for her state of mind. Permission granted. Robyn closed her eyes and inhaled. Then, the mask fell. I've been accused of manipulation, of breaking the family, of controlling Cody. Maybe some of it is true. But I didn't cause the fracture. I only watched it happen. Cody changed after the cameras came, after the fame. He made me sign papers I never read. He told me, don't worry about it. And I obeyed, because questioning him meant silence. Weeks, sometimes months of silence. She turned her head toward Cody. I wanted to be the loyal wife, the obedient one, but I was blind, willingly blind. Christine and Janelle exchanged glances from the gallery. Meri leaned forward, listening. Robyn's confession wasn't a defense, it was an indictment. The folder I carried that night, I found it by accident in a storage box labeled property, taxes. But inside were documents Cody promised were destroyed, bank transfers, withdrawals, forged signatures, with Meri's name, with Christine's. The judge motioned to the bailiff. Bring it here. Meri gave a slight nod. Her lawyer slid the second envelope across the bench. The judge opened it slowly. Pages of bank slips, forged documents, and inside, another sealed envelope marked in Cody's handwriting. Robyn, do not show. The judge read in silence. Her face darkened. Christine stood abruptly. Your Honor, may I approach? The judge allowed it. Christine stepped forward, her voice steady. That handwriting on the note. It's mine. The courtroom gasped. The judge raised an eyebrow. Do you know what this pertains to? Christine shook her head. No. But if it's what I think it is... She trailed off. The judge opened the final slip. A photocopied check with Christine's signature from 5 years ago, made out to a shell company Cody had denied ties to. Attached was a sticky note. Burn this if she ever finds out. Christine's breath caught. That was from when I refinanced the house. He said it was for renovations. The judge's voice turned icy. Would you like to file charges? Christine, after a pause. Yes, Cody finally snapped. This doesn't prove anything. You're all twisting it. Enough, the judge thundered. You will remain silent until addressed, Mr. Brown. Robyn lowered her head. I didn't want any of this, but when I realized Cody set me up to take the fall, I broke. He told me no one would believe me, that everyone already hated me. And maybe he was right. You all made me the villain long ago, so I played the role. But this is bigger than me. Meri's eyes softened for a fraction of a second, remembering the woman who once begged her for peace. But that woman was gone. The judge sifted through the evidence, each page another nail in a coffin. We will recess for 30 minutes while I refer this to a financial crimes investigator. When we return, we may be escalating beyond a protective order. The gavel cracked. Outside, chaos. Reporters swarmed, cameras flashed. Cody stormed out, brushing past microphones. Robyn called after him. "Cody, wait!" He didn't turn back. Christine and Janelle stood apart, silent. Meri emerged last. No words, none were needed. Robyn's meltdown on the stand had not been emotional. It had been legal. And it had given the judge everything she needed to begin tearing apart the web Cody spent decades weaving. Then, Robyn's phone buzzed. A new message. "You weren't supposed to bring that folder." No name, no signature. Her hands shook as she looked toward the door where Cody had vanished. The courtroom wasn't cold because of air conditioning. It was cold because of what had just been unleashed. Robyn has not returned from the corridor. Cody's chair remains empty. The judge, stone-faced, sits behind the bench, quietly rereading the declaration she has just signed. A formal request for financial investigation. Meri Brown rises when she is called. No hesitation, no fear, just serenity. She walks to the stand slowly, deliberately, and then, something no one expects, she smiles. Not cruel, not mocking. A quiet, near-serene smile, as though a weight she has carried for decades has finally slipped free. The courtroom stirs, confused. Christine leans forward, brows knitted. Janelle remains steady, unmoved. Even the judge doesn't tilt her head. The clerk instructs her to raise her hand. She does. "I do." Meri sets her purse in her lap, shoulders relaxed. The judge's voice softens. "Miss Brown, you've presented 2 folders. One regarding the incident at your home, and another with financial records. Do you have anything else to offer today?" Meri turns slightly, hand reaching into her purse. "I do." This time it isn't paper, it's a phone. She unlocks it, taps a file. Sunday night recording when 1. No explanation. She simply extends it to the bailiff. The judge slips in an earpiece. 10 seconds in, her eyes widen. 30 seconds, she yanks it out. Her tone sharpens. "Miss Brown, do you have authority to submit this?" "Yes, Your Honor, I recorded it in my house." "Approved. Play the clip." The room fills with sound. Cody's voice, cold, venomous. "If she doesn't stop asking about the books, I'll bury her in paperwork. Make her look like the fraud. And if she ever produces that folder, especially to Christine, I'll burn this whole thing down." The gallery gasps. No one breathes. Some evidence doesn't need a judge. It just needs to be heard. The doors creak. Robyn slips back inside, her face stricken. She knows this recording. She was there. The judge cuts the audio. "Miss Brown, who was Cody referring to?" Meri doesn't flinch. "Me. Did you feel threatened?" "Not physically," Meri replies, "but emotionally, legally. Psychologically, he knew how to scare us without laying a hand. He's been doing it for years." The judge steadies herself. "And when he mentioned the books?" Meri nods. "Our tax returns? Years of misfiled income. LLCs in my name, without my full consent. And Robyn signed some too. But I don't believe she knew what she was signing." Robyn's breath stutters. Meri turns back to the judge. "I didn't want this. I wanted closure, not chaos. But that night, when Robyn came to my doorstep, I realized we were sitting on a fire, pretending it wasn't burning." The judge leans forward. "Would you like to give a complete statement before I rule?" Meri exhales, steady. "I've known Kody Brown since I was 19. I was his first wife, his test case. I watched him bring in Janelle, then Christine, then Robyn. I watched him divide his time, his money, his loyalty, until there was nothing left for any of us. When Robyn arrived, I defended her. I stood up for her when the others didn't, and I stayed silent when I should have run. I had faith in him. He exploited that faith. Silence floods the courtroom, even the clerk's fingers still. When the show began, we thought it would tell our story. Instead, it told his. He became the brand, the star. We were props. He used our names, our credibility to build LLCs, accounts, investments we didn't understand, and when questions came, he gaslit us. He laughed. He said, "You don't get business, just trust me." I trusted him. And now, I'm here. She turned slightly, her eyes flicking toward Robyn. The real monster in this story wasn't Robyn. It was the silence he created between us. Robyn begins to sob quietly. Christine lowers her head. The judge clears her throat. "Why now?" "Miss Brown?" Meri lifts her chin. "Because when Robyn came to me carrying that folder, I saw what she really was. Not just hiding something, but surviving something. And in that survival, she nearly pulled me into the same sinkhole. Sometimes a woman only speaks when she's decided she'll never be silent again." The judge nods once. "I've heard enough." Robyn pleads, "Your Honor, please." "You'll have your chance. For now, I'm ruling on the motion." Her gavel hovers. A temporary restraining order is issued in favor of Meri Brown against Robyn Brown for 30 days, pending further investigation. And, based on the evidence submitted, this matter is referred to the district attorney for possible financial fraud, falsified tax reports, and identity abuse. The gallery erupts, murmurs, gasps. Cody is still absent. Christine finally smiles. Robyn doesn't move. Meri nods, calm as stone. But the judge isn't done. She peers down. "Miss Brown, you mentioned a third folder. A sealed one?" Meri blinks, surprised. Then slowly, she pulls out an envelope. Black plastic, labeled, "Do not open unless he lies." The room freezes, and at that moment, Cody bursts through the doors. His attorney trailing behind, whispering warnings he ignores. Cody strides forward like a man walking onto his own stage. "I must be heard." The judge sighs. "You are not a named defendant. Are you requesting to make a voluntary statement under oath?" "I am." "Then take the stand." Cody raises his hand, swears in, and sits. The swagger of a man who believes he's still the star. But no one claps. This family has been through hell. Cameras in our homes, producers chasing drama. Through it all, I tried to lead. I'm not perfect. I've said things I regret. But this isn't justice. It's vengeance. Meri's bitter I moved on. Christine's angry I didn't keep chasing her. Janelle's been disloyal. And Robyn's the scapegoat for chaos they created. He faces the judge. "I didn't forge, I didn't threaten. I held this family together while they wanted to tear it apart." The judge narrows her eyes. "Are you denying you told Robyn to burn records?" "I don't recall ever saying that." "Are you denying forged signatures?" "I never faked anything. If my name appeared, it was because someone said it was okay." "By whom?" Cody hesitates. His attorney leaps up. "Your Honor, I advise my client not to answer." The judge notes it, but the silence speaks louder than words. Robyn stares, trembling. Meri raises an eyebrow. Christine scribbles furiously. Cody scoffs, leaning forward. "That recording Meri played, it was taken out of context. I was blowing. Off steam." The judge doesn't reply. The air shifts. And for the first time, Kody Brown looks smaller than the courtroom he once commanded. The courtroom was suffocating. Every breath a reminder of the weight pressing down on this family's fractured history. Cody's chair sat empty, Robyn's return uncertain, and yet Meri Brown rose when her name was called. Calm, unshaken, radiant with a serenity that came only from surviving storms. She didn't clutch papers this time. She held something more damning, a phone, a single recording. And when the judge pressed play, Cody's voice slithered into the room like broken glass, cold, mocking, venomous. "If she talks about the books, I'll bury her in paperwork, make her look like the fraud, and if she dares show that folder to Christine, I'll burn it all down." The gallery erupted. Christine's eyes brimmed. Janelle's jaw clenched. Robyn froze in the doorway, pale because she had been there when that threat was made. Meri did not tremble. She simply told the court the truth about falsified tax returns, signatures placed without consent, and the quiet war Kody waged in silence. Robyn's name was on the filings, but even Meri admitted Robyn was a pawn. The real weapon was Kody's manipulation, but this time, the silence broke. The black envelope was opened. Inside, a forged lease agreement with Christine's name scrawled across it. Christine gasped, "That's not mine, I never signed it." Robyn whispered through tears, "I thought it was for taxes." The judge's face turned grave. Fraud. Identity abuse. And then, from the shadows, came the voice no one expected. Leon Brown. Calm. Steady. Devastating. Control disguised as love. Control disguised as faith. I was used. My name was signed. My life, my independence turned into paperwork for a facade. Emails proved it. Kody had schemed to keep Leon as a dependent long after they had left. The courtroom didn't just hear Leon, it believed them. And when Christine revealed her own recording, Kody plotting to destroy Meri's reputation, the final veil lifted. Robyn collapsed in tears. Kody raged. But the state investigators were already there, armed with timelines, forgeries, and proof of more than $150,000 in fraud. Then the fatal crack. Robyn flipped. Cold, clear, unflinching. "I'll give you everything, emails, passwords, records, but I want immunity." Kody's jaw broke in silence as the cuffs closed around his wrists. No yelling, no escape, just the sound of steel sealing his fate. The next day, the courtroom was quieter. The chaos had burned away. Kody was gone, detained without bail. Robyn sat hollow, her immunity pending. Christine and Janelle stood shoulder to shoulder, scarred but unbroken. Leon absent, yet their words lingered like a torch. And Meri entered with nothing but herself. No folders, no phone, no fear. She told the court, "I believed silence would keep peace, but silence only kept us chained. I forgive Robyn, not because it erases what happened, but because it frees me to live again." Gasps filled the air. Tears fell. Even the judge bowed her head with respect. With a final strike of the gavel, the case closed. Kody, charged. Robyn, under watch. The Brown Trust, ordered for liquidation. And Meri, free at last. Outside, reporters screamed questions, cameras flashed, but Meri only smiled and whispered, "No comment." Because some stories don't need sequels. They need endings, and this was the end of silence.